Morning!
Morning!
Welcome to the India Explained podcast, recorded in London and San Francisco. One take, unscripted, no rehearsal.
Hey Bunty. So I thought for our final episode today, uh, you know, let's do another one which is slightly off the beaten path or whatever you want to call it, like somewhat left field. So there's these two dudes, and you just know that these guys have to be from Delhi. And I'm actually sharing this of a tweet from a guy called Bhavtosh Singh. I don't know if Bhavtosh Singh listens to us. His Twitter handle is @Bhavtosh Singh, but just credit where credit is due. Officially, Crime Branch has arrested father-son duo for duping a Delhi-based businessman of rupees 1.43 crore, claiming they have bagged a NASA project. And what these guys did is they said that there's some kind of rice feeder or rice puller. I don't know what the hell NASA would need a rice puller for. But these two oafs, they dressed up in this, these like astronaut outfits. And this photo has been going viral on social media, and it's. I think this happened last week, but I mean, it's an evergreen story. Oh, it happened like I think almost 12 days ago, but it's totally ripe for discussion.
What I thought was really interesting, Rohit, was the sum of money involved. You've picked up on the fact that this can only happen in Delhi. I think you're doing it a disservice. I think it would happen in places like Calcutta and Chennai, but they wouldn't play that lamba hath. They will play like some kind of ISRO number that, there's something going down in Karnataka or something going out in Bangalore, and we need the money. But in Delhi, the swag is bigger, so they've gone straight for NASA. And I'm just amazed by the 1.43 crore, the amount of money that these guys have kind of duped. And one of the things that I think it's peak summer, they've just been intercepted. Now putting something, so they've got this kind of costumes basically, which look like a fake of a spacesuit, a fake spacesuit. The fact that they had that, they wore that as part of the kind of scam, just takes the cake, because they were sitting there and planning this scam. Because if it was just some kind of a cold, calculated paperwork-based scam where they are showing fraudulent paperwork, you could have said that okay, the props were kind of documentation, and you could be fooled. Even the smartest person can be fooled by a forged document. There's no. But the fact that there's costumes involved, and costumes that you wear in space, right? Which kind of fooled a guy into giving 1.43 crores. I think that these guys should be, appreciated. I know they are criminals and they've taken money, but there's a certain innocence in that, one of the props they used to scam a businessman in Delhi about NASA is not only documentation, but a costume. I just think it is brilliant.
It's like a kindergartner's representation of, what a spaceman wears. And correct. I think the guy's wearing chashmas. He's wearing spectacles under that.
Yeah, no. I'm thinking, where did the demo happen?
Okay. So I've got a little more information about this Bunty, and I think that it's technically apparently a radiation suit. So let me just break this down.
It's not a space suit; it's a radiation suit.
But it is like a space suit. But see, here's what happened. They claimed that I had no idea what a rice puller was. So they said that, that this is something that research agencies, including India's Defense Research and Development Organization, were developing. So they told the accused was Virinder Mohan Brar and his son Baba Brar. And Panjus, no, I swear. They claimed the plate was a rice puller that was charged by lightning, and they told the guy Narendra. Narendra was a poor victim. They could help him sell it to NASA for an astronomical price if the tests could prove it was genuine. Right. So he told the victim, I think the victim said that he would he told the victim that NASA would immediately pay $2 million if the test proved it was genuine. So the victim agreed to pay for anti-radiation suits, and then the accused told him that there are some chemicals that are required for the testing and fees for scientists. And by the way, this is from an Australian publication, sbs.com.au. So just credit where credit's due again. So that's what he forked out. He forked out 280,000, I guess, Australian dollars. Yeah. Now, police said the victim became suspicious when the tests were repeatedly called off, and then he later found out that the scientists who had been called for conducting the tests, for which they were paid 20,000 rupees, they were actually working for the scamsters. And what happens is that this is interesting that so he said that these anti-radiation suits, they do appear to resemble that of NASA scientists. So there is an element of, costuming there. Totally, you weren't wrong about that. There is no such thing as a rice puller, but the cops, Joint Commissioner of Police, Mr. Alok Kumar, says what the cheats do is they take a copper plate, they coat it with a liquid magnet, and then they fill boiled rice with small iron wires, and the victim gets fooled because the copper plate actually pulls the rice pieces. So,
but this is like the level of complexity and detail to stage this that has gone on is great. I think this is a Hindi movie in the making. It'd be a lost opportunity if people didn't to fool somebody in Delhi. And the other thing I wanted to ask you is the guy who parted with 1.43 crores. I'm guaranteeing that his original line of business was probably LPG, or he ran a gas station or something like that. He had no clue that this is something that was required, or okay, that's a hypothetical. I'd be very interested to know that the guy who paid up this money, what his original line of business was. Was he a cloth merchant? Was he a farmer? So it just seems that he was investing in something that he didn't know any better.
It reminded me tangentially of something very interesting. A former colleague of mine at a university I taught at for a year, in Boston, told me. He said that. So that guy used to actually work on the stock market, and he said that I used to sell people stocks, including penny stocks. And he said the amount of money I made was insane, but he said it was a completely unethical business. He said my boss was unethical, the entire outfit I was working for was just unethical, illegal. And he said that his boss had been blacklisted a couple of times in the stock market, and that was actually a kind of badge of honor. So he said, we would call up people and we would sell them these stocks, and we would tell them utter rubbish, the plastic cap on medicine bottles, how it's really hard to open sometimes because it's childproof. He said, and the client would say, yeah. And he said that, we know this great company that's devised one that's much easier and it's going to revolutionize bottles, and the stock is a penny and it's going to be at least $5. And he said that the company didn't exist and people would, they would just go ahead and shell out money. And so the question I asked him is, I said, in an hour, if you manage to get people, few $100,000 worth of investment, you're getting money from people who are obviously affluent, right? They have money to spare, invest on the stock market, and to take risks. So if these are people who've made significant sums of money, weren't they smart enough to see through this? And he said that, look, a lot of these people who've made this kind of money are bullshitters themselves. They're gas bags. They're schmoozers. And he said that the saying is, it's easy to bullshit a bullshitter, right? So these are people who, again, please pardon my French, as they say, but so these, in some ways, I have a feeling that these are if you're a bit of a smooth operator yourself, or you cut, and I don't want to malign the victim. I don't know Mr. Narendra, whoever he is, maybe perfectly ethical man, but my sense of Delhi is that almost no one pays taxes. Everyone is a wheeler dealer, everyone is a middleman, everyone's taking shortcuts. That's what the whole economy works on. So in some ways, it may be that what goes around comes around.
Okay. Well, Chano, let's wrap up on there. And good that this guy's been nabbed and arrested, and hope that next time there's a fraudulent practice, it's less ambitious, not NASA, something more local.
Yeah, and I think that, the guy lost he lost 50,000 rupees at max. But I'm pretty sure that they got most of the 1.43 crores back. And, I feel bad for Mr. Narendra, but I think the sort of, on the flip side, it did provide a lot of entertainment. So, okay. All right, man.
Chalo, take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to us. Rohit and Bunty would like to sign off. Please stay tuned. Follow us on India Explained on Twitter. Keep listening. Thank you for all your support.